So for me, in planning events, most important thing is understanding the brief. When you understand the brief, when you understand the brief, you have headway. So if I can't picture it, I can't plan it. I have to be able to picture it, and that's why even when I have something, even when I have an idea, I always want my customer to be able to picture it. I will walk you in a way that you have to have the mental picture of it. So having the brief, understanding the brief is the first thing. The second one is vendors. Getting the right vendors is second most important. Why brief is the first? Because why understanding the brief is the first? Like, if you don't understand the brief, or which vendor are you getting? You don't even know how to get the right vendor without understanding the brief. So that's the first. So getting the right vendors is number two on my list. You can plan for as an event planner. You can plan from now to tomorrow. You can plan from January to December. Put everything into perspective. Create maps, as in create something like mad that you know that this one will blow up the internet, or this one will just your customer will just be doing like this to you. Once you have gotten it wrong with the vendors, forget. Like vendors are the most important ingredient when it has to do with event planning. Once you have gotten it wrong in terms of getting the right vendors, sometimes it's always hard to know what to do. So the best thing is always get the right vendors. Get vendors. See, vendors. It's always the best. It's always sometimes it's not about professionalism. You might know how to get the right one. You might know how to scheme. You might know how to manage vendors. But they can still mess you up. But vendors they are very, very key in events. No matter what, no matter how we want to do it, vendors are key. Getting the right vendor is key. So yeah, right vendor, my top two. My number three on my list is budget. I know a lot of you be like, you guys talk about budget. What can't we do event with that budget? Now, when you contact me, I'll be like, I was asking what's the budget. If I have accepted my own service and everything like that, as what's the budget? I cannot continue with you if I don't know your budget. If you don't have a budget, you have to mention a budget. So creating a budget. So you have to have a budget, create a budget, and stick to your budget. So that's why professionals, that's why event planners will tell you say, I want to plan a wedding of 10 a.m. Person will be like, okay. But then we hear the brief, we'll be like, I don't think this 10 a.m. will go. I would advise we do this. But I can create the budget and you see. So everything you have briefed me, I'll create a budget for you. And you see that your money is not going anywhere. I'm not going to hike price because I want you to understand that I was right. No, I'm not. When it has to do with business, I don't do I was right, or I don't do I told you so. Because if I want to do I told you so, if I want to I told you so in terms of business, it means that I already set you up for failure from beginning. So I don't do that. I don't do that. You don't also affect me. So why would I do that? So yeah, budget is my top three. Have a budget and stick to your budget. It's one thing to have a budget, it's another thing to stick to it. So you see, it's a sentence, it's not a word. Have a budget and stick to it. It's a continuous sentence. It's a continuous sentence. It is not part one, part two. No, it's a continuous sentence. Have a budget and stick to your budget. That's my top three. That's my number three in my list. My number four will be your event team. Who is managing your event for you? Who are you? Who is your event manager for that day? Right? You can plan your event as you want. You can do anything you want to do. Or use your event manager. Even as a planner, I can plan all events. And if my team are not that good enough, they won't be able to execute the event I have planned. So, who is your event team? Who is your coordinator? Who is your event manager? Who is your bridal assistant? They're very, very important because you have planned. You need some people to help you bring it to life. And so they're my top four. So you have heard my top four. Understanding the event brief, selecting the right vendor, having a budget and sticking to your budget, and then your event team. Who is your event team?